Todd Spears here, and welcome to another edition of Supremacy Webinars featuring SERPscout. As most of you know, we launched SERPscout in beta a few weeks ago, and it was more along kind of the basic version of that, and we have a couple of other new, we have more features inside there, and we're going to have a pro version, obviously, because they weren't quite ready for release a few weeks ago. And to be quite honest, I've been up at 4 o'clock in the morning for the last few days, working with the team to kind of iron out some little wrinkles we had and some of the new features. We keep trying to make it better. Like we get it working great, and then we're like, hey, well, what if we did this and that and this and that? So we change it all up a little bit. And we're like, oh no, I kind of broke things. And so, um, as you know, that's how development can go sometimes. You always want to try and push the envelope, and you get better ideas as we go along. And so we've been changing things up a little bit over the last week, I would say, as we get more into the software and we start using it more and more and more. We feel like, oh wow, we can make it so much better if it just did it this way and that way. So we've been changing some things up. So we're actually working up to the last minute, getting in, working on the software up to the last minute here, getting it ready for you guys. So it still might be a little quirky here and there, but the guys are on standby right now as well. So hopefully, if we run into any minor complications, the team will hop right in and get those things fixed. They're amazing, and I tell you, I work with them and use the software, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of quirky, and then they're like, 3 minutes, it's a fix. So bear with us a little bit as we go through what's new, what's in the pro version. Shouldn't be on here for more than an hour total, and we're going to just kind of give you the new rundown of the pro features, and then we're going to show you how you can pick it up pretty easily. We've got another good friend of ours named Rob Warner on. He's going to be coming on in about 30 minutes, and he's got some really cool stuff to show you as well. So that's the agenda for today. And Herc, if you're ready, I guess I'll go ahead and let you take it away.
All right, guys. So here it is. Here's SERPscout. It may look. Quick question: how many people already got it from the first beta test offer that we did? Can you give me a 1, please, just so I can kind of know? And then give me a 2 if you don't have it, if you've never seen it. Okay. So most of you on the webinar. Oh, here comes a bunch of 2s. Okay, maybe we're about half and half. All right. So the idea behind SERPscout, guys, is we released a software product called Pixel Scout, over a year now ago. And the idea with Pixel Scout was to simply basically replace the Chrome extension Pixel Finder, where if you're looking for new Facebook advertising clients, the old way of doing things was to visit put in a keyword in Google and visit websites one by one and find websites who weren't running a Pixel, and then try to find their contact information, and then try and reach out to them to tell them, you could be retargeting on Facebook with Facebook ads, and it's pretty easy. And the issue with doing that is really slow. It's really cumbersome to search Google and create a spreadsheet and put all that data in there. And that software really helped people automate those entire processes. So what we did with SERPscout is basically take everything we learned from Pixel Scout and made it better. So this is really going to look a lot like Pixel Scout for anyone that's ever seen it, but it's SERPscout. It's the code base completely rebuilt, and the focus isn't necessarily this time on finding pixels, right? It's really more I'd say SEO and agency based, finding a lot of stuff. So it really is a tool to help you prospect, and it'll help you turn really cold leads into really warm leads by just wowing them with the amount of information about them, and allows you to use those little foot in the door techniques. Like we can scan websites on Google and find a bunch of different stuff, and then you can of course contact them. So it's pretty simple, right? I'll just take you through it. You put in any term. So here's a couple examples. Obviously, Salt Lake City Emergency Dentist for anyone that's been watching me on the Rank and Rent. This is a website I built and ranked #1. Plumber Chicago, Dallas Plumber, pool resurfacing Phoenix, another Rank and Rent property. You just put in any niche in any city, okay, and it will scan for you, okay? It'll scan whatever pages you want. So I'm gonna run one more. Somebody give me a niche idea and we'll run a scan. And then as it's running, I'll show you what we got and then we'll come back and look at it. So if anyone wants to look at a niche right now, type it in there, type it in the city. Okay, tattoo removal, great. Okay, and we're gonna do it in NYC, okay, New York City. So if this was the service that I wanted to, you know, sell as an agency or whatever, I'd want to look up the websites that are ranking in Google. So the nice thing, the first thing we changed, number one, is now instead of searching page, you know, pages 1, 2, 3 or pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, we can actually search. If you click on 4 and then click over to 7, we can actually search a range of pages. So like say 4 to 7 or, you know, 8, 9, 10, whatever we want. Okay. And then you just select which pages of Google you want to search and you begin your search. Okay. It's credit based. It's 1 credit per page of Google that you're searching. Okay. So we're going to let that run. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, obviously. Okay. It loads the result. Now this UI is a little different than what you're used to in Pixel. It's a lot cleaner, right? So red icons mean it's not found. Green icons mean it is found. And we're doing very, very basic checks up front. Okay, so SSL, Open Graph, Google Analytics, and Schema. But if you guys want to send things to a deeper level analysis, I'll do that in a second and show you. And Todd, do you want to message the guys and let them know my screen keeps refreshing? I think they're working on my account in the background. What we can do now is once the results are loaded, okay, we can set filters. So for instance, we can say only show me results that have an email address that's found, or only show me results. Sorry about this, guys. Like I said, we're still in beta.
The reason why that's doing that, Herc, is because you're in analysis right now, and what it's doing is it's refreshing the screen to load when those results are finished. So as soon as that tattoo removal New York City completes its analysis, then it'll stop refreshing itself.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, that's annoying. Oh, it's done. Perfect.
See, now it's done. Now it won't refresh anymore.
Okay, well, we'll have to fix that. So there we go, guys. So here's tattoo removal. So number one is the scan. Let me refresh the page because it's still doing it. Okay, number one is the scan, right? You want to find the businesses on whatever pages of Google. Number two is we want to next filter out by, you know, the obvious stuff that's important. So number one, I only want to look at results that have an email address. So I can set a quick filter, okay, and you can see 4 emails found, okay. And then all these guys have SSL Open Graph. They're all green, green, green. So maybe we would want to do something like, you know, remove. I only want to look at people where they don't have schema. So it's at a negative filter. So you see how I click that? That means it's found. That means it's not found. Okay, so you'll set all your filters the way you want. And then the next thing you're going to do is if these are the types of sites that you wanted to target, you would set up you have 2 options here. Now you can just contact them. You can set up an email campaign. That's what campaigns are. And just contact them by email, right? And you can set up an autoresponder sequence to contact them by email and say whatever you want in those emails. The way we had suggested to do it was actually to first create a report, okay? And that way when you email them, you can send them to a report. So for instance, in this report, what we can do, so we've changed the report builder. It's quite a bit better now. So you can add a bunch of columns, add your identity, add the website information, you know, show the detection, stuff like that, and then put in a contact button, right? And then open your settings, okay? Choose it. We have all these little different themes and stuff that we can use. The report builder is so much better, but the idea is to build a report to show them what's wrong with their site. You can also use custom HTML, which is a really important metric because that means you can say whatever you want in your custom HTML on the report, right? Say whatever you want. You can include pictures, you can include videos in here, so you can really, really create a report for a client that is honed in on who they are, right, and what they do. And then when you contact them, you can either send them to the report or you can just contact them and save that report for later. It's kind of up to you how you want to do things. And one of the biggest improvements that we made from Pixel Scout to SERPscout was before you would have to create a report and a campaign for each one of these things, right? And the way we sped it up was was to be able to save a template that you could say, okay, I'll set up a template for this guy, but then I'm just going to copy the template and then reuse it for this guy and change a couple things and then do the same thing down the road. Well, we made a huge, huge change, guys, here, which is really awesome. Now you can select all the people you want, right? And you can actually create a campaign. And what it'll do now is, so let's say this is a tattoo campaign. You'd give it a name, right? Then you'd go next, you'd select your sender, okay? You'd choose an identity that you want to send, like your business identity for we'll use Marketing Wizards, okay? And now you would set up a campaign template that you would send. And the nice thing is it would automatically pull in the right information from the right business, but you only have to set it up once, right? So you can see like we're setting up our templates here. There is an area where you set these up like in full, right? So we'll just choose this one, okay? And there you go. So it loads each person, each email, so that when you create your email campaign, you're only setting it up once, but it's going to message all the people with the proper information every time. We're also going to do the same thing for the report. It's not quite finished yet, but it will be. It's being developed right now. Okay. The all these things. So like when we're dragging in their website information, we're going to have a report, okay, that you can attach to your campaigns where the report is even dynamic. So you're sending an email once to multiple clients. They're only seeing their business information. And when they click on the link to see the report that you've built for them, we only pull in their information into your report. So it's completely dynamic. And that's a huge, huge, massive change over what we did with Pixel Scout. Even the filters are another massive change because we've seen what all the bottlenecks were, right, with the old software. And we're like, where's things getting slow? And we need to speed those up. And that was one of the biggest changes, was the ability to set your, do your search, set your filters, and then contact everybody all at once, right? So it's an amazing, amazing feature. The next thing that you would want to do, okay, and this is part of it's called deep analysis. So sometimes, it's SSL certificate, Open Graph, Google Analytics, schema, maybe those are enough to get you information about a website to sell them. If you're doing SEO, sometimes you don't even really need much at all. You just want to contact people maybe on pages 5 to 10 to sell SEO. You don't really need a deep analysis. But when you want to look at a website deeper, okay, you'd send it to deep analysis by clicking the deep analysis button. And this is what it would look like. So here's one that I ran for emergency dental urgent care. Okay, we're doing a mobile friendly test, a page speed a test. We're checking if their schema has any errors on it. So you can see over here on the regular check, we're checking if they have schema. On the deep analysis, we're checking if they have schema errors. So we're validating their schema on that end. So if these come up red, that means they're getting schema validation errors. And then of course the Google My Business listing, you can see this client has an unclaimed business, and then social insights. So we're getting a lot more information. Now here is another really, really huge feature. Okay, emergency dental Salt Lake City. See this little button right here, rank keywords. Okay, look at this. emergencydentalsaltlakecity.com. This is everything. Well, it's not everything. What we're doing now is we have the ability to look at all the keywords that they're ranking for, right? So let's sort this. So we know this guy's ranking #1 for emergency dental Salt Lake. He's ranked #1 for this. Okay, we know what the traffic of that is. We know what the volume of those keywords are. We know what the CPC of those keywords are, and the AdWords competition. And the nice thing about this, guys, okay, let me go back in to customize. So if we were setting up a report for these guys, okay, so let me do this. Let me show you how quick it is to create a beautiful report for these people, okay? So I kind of have a format that I follow. I go 1-to-1 container, and then I do a half, and then I do a full, and then I do a full, and then I do a half, and then I do a full, okay? So let me show you how quick this is. Well, we want to identify who we are. So there we go. We want to identify who they are. There they go. We want to say what the hell is going on here, right? So I'm going to go edit, and I'm just going to type in these words. Custom report, if I could spell right, generated for, right? And then I'll bold it, I'll make it big. Okay, done. Next, I want to show them their detections that we found on their site. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff. Actually, let's move this one down because there's too much good stuff on there. That's not good. But here's a really important one. If I want to sell an SEO client, I want to show them what they're ranking for, right? So now I can put that report, their ranking report, in this keyword. I can also add a custom HTML block inside of this block and say, here's what you're ranking for, right? Whatever you want to say. Okay, I'm not going to actually do that on that one. So down here, we show them this. Next thing, is it mobile friendly? Yep, it is. Okay, well, we don't want to show them that. Okay, does it have Google Places? Nope. Okay, their page speed. We want to show that. Oh, pretty shitty, right? And then the last thing, guys, obviously, the contact button. See how much easier this report generator is than Pixel Scout? It's so beautiful. Okay, now the button. Click here to resolve these issues. Now, I don't want to say that. I want to say, click here to see how I can help, right? You can choose what happens when they click on that button. If you want to redirect them somewhere else, you can choose what happens on the form, and I'll show you what the form is in a second. Okay, so there you go. We built a beautiful report for these guys. So now I'm going to just open our settings. Okay, this is the client. I'm going to select digitallandlord.network as our hosted domain. Okay, I'm going to choose clouds as a background. You can see these clouds coming in, and then we can even change like the background images and colors and stuff. So like for instance, if I wanted like a blue sky, you know what I mean, and I want to set like a radial, and I'll set it at the top. And then I'll drag this out so it looks kind of like a sun is shining. Okay, and then I just click save. Okay, and that report is now saved, and I can send this report to the client. I can send a link to this report to the client in the email campaigns. But the even better thing, another huge change that we made, guys, is we can actually send this report embedded into the email because we changed from a PHP-based report to an HTML-based report. So that means this report literally can be built right here and sent via email so that it looks like this, right? Another really, really huge change. So that's another big change. Let me see what else we got. Forget what I said in the email. If anybody wants to remind me of the third point, I'll talk about it. But basically the big changes, guys, the analysis, right? Like the keyword ranking analysis, the ability to send, when you're setting up campaigns, to set up multiple clients and dynamically insert, it's like mail merge, you know what I mean? Like we're selecting 4 to 10 people and only setting up the campaign once, and it'll contact them all at once. Obviously speed improvements, UI improvements. There's just so much improvements that have gone into it. So now I kind of want what you guys have all seen so far, and what you got when you purchased SERPscout was access to the front end, right? Like the beta access, because we wanted your feedback. But we have a pro version that's obviously coming up, and the pro version is going to allow you to do the same scans once again, just like Pixel Scout, but in Yellow Pages. And the nice thing about that is in Yellow Pages, when you're searching Google, right, for local businesses, I think we did tattoo removal NYC. A lot of times, the stuff like Groupon, comes up, and Yelp comes up and stuff like that, where it's not really great. Now with Pixel Scout, or sorry, with SERPscout, we give you the ability to like flag those types of websites, right? So flag it so that we can analyze what's being flagged and then decide if it's really worth not showing anymore. If it's flagged and approved, that means it won't show up anymore. So we've done our job with the software to help clean up the front end. But the thing with searching Yellow Pages, there are no Yelps and stuff in Yellow Pages. It's all local businesses. So the searching is a lot cleaner, right? You're only going to get local businesses in Yellow Pages. So it's really clean. You can see, and there's a lot of people with problems. So let's see if we can do some email stuff. So here we go. Bunch of emails found, bunch of pages found. We can see what the emails. You can get a lot better and cleaner results. And it's Yellow Pages. It's just full of businesses. It's like fishing in a pond that was just freshly stocked with fish, right? And you don't really have to flag anything. The other option to the pro upgrade, obviously, is the white label. So you can see right here, guys, under report setting, by default, when you guys are going to send people a report, we host it on a domain called digitallandlord.network. But with the white label, it'll allow you to host this exact same report. You'll still build it in SERPscout, but when you send a link to the report, it'll actually be, yourdomain.com/report, you know what I mean? And you'll host it on your site and on your brand. And that's called the white label option. Okay. What else is in there? Another one is called the importer. So a lot of times you'll be able to get data, about websites from different services. And we wanted to give you the ability to import data from any other source and use our analysis on it and our campaign and report builder outreach. So basically that's helpful for when you don't want to basically be scanning Google or Yellow Pages, but you have data from somewhere else, but you do like our scanning ability of those URLs, and you do like our reporting ability and campaign ability of those URLs. You can actually import that into here and then set that up as well. So let me see how we're doing for time here. We're like 8:30. I think that's pretty good. Todd, did I miss anything? Or I guess I can answer a few questions.
Yeah, the one thing that I want to really point out there is that ranked keywords, which we think is very, very valuable, is also a part of the pro version too. So the pro version includes the ranked keywords, Yellow Pages, and the importer, and also the white labeling. So there's 4 new features included in that pro version. Oh, and also the unclaimed Google My Business, because that's a really good one to have as well. And those are the reason why that's a pro version. The reason why it's an upgrade is because it does cost us more money to run some of those features inside there. So that's why it's kind of an upgrade, because we kind of got to be careful on our expenditures on the software, on the API calls and things like that.
Yes.
And I'll mention to us whenever Herc was talking about building, selecting 5 or 10 sites and building one campaign and emails them all. So this leaves you in a little bit of bulk email, territory. And we never did this in Pixel Scout because we really didn't want to turn into a bunch of spammers. But I think that, you're using your own Gmail account to send an email, and, just be mindful of that and be careful and don't be an idiot. At first, my thoughts were, let's not let anyone be an idiot. But I think we're all adults here, and we all run our own businesses differently. And, just be careful with that. Don't get too crazy and, do 100 at a time or something like that. Unless, your account is seasoned and you're kind of ramping it up a little bit and you're not getting any complaints. Because last thing I want to see you do is get your Gmail account shut down for emailing too hard. So I think in any time you're using an autoresponder service or an email server, you got to warm it up, right? You got to kind of just go slowly. Don't come out of the gate, and get labeled a spammer. Although this isn't really spamming, it is cold outreach, which is we all, if you own a business, get cold outreach emails every day, right? But they're somewhat targeted to your business and what you do for whatever reason. And this kind of the same principle applies. I mean, we're being helpful. We're not offering them, scams and spams to buy something that's, you wouldn't normally even think about wanting. So it's not that big of a deal, but we do allow the ability to, basically mass email the same email out to multiple clients at the same time. It'll just speed up your outreach process. So just remember that, and it's up to you on how wisely you use it. Like I said, just start off slow, and then continuously ramp it up, and then maybe you get to a point where you can mail 50 to 100 in one go and not have too much complication. Just be careful and don't be an idiot. That's all I've got to say.
I just saw a good question here that I'll answer. Gainer G said, why does the search criteria have a Facebook page as a choice, but Facebook pixels appears in deep analysis? It's because they're different checks. So when we're going through on the SERP scanner, one of the things we're looking for is we're trying to find all the possible ways you can contact these people, right? Because a contact point is really one of the most important points of cold prospecting. If you can't email them and you can't phone them, maybe you can contact them on a Facebook page. And one of the nice things, guys, I don't know if anybody, well, I'm sure some of you are in the Rank and Rent Club and maybe some of you aren't, but I'm currently in the process of trying to rent out the Salt Lake City dentist site that I built. And I actually used the Facebook page to contact the person. I just reached out to their Facebook page and sent that template from the Rank and Rent guide saying, you know, I've got, I believe this was the report too, actually, I'll show you that, but I used their Facebook page. Where was it? I think it was this one actually. Let's view that. Yeah, there we go. So reaching out to like dentists saying like, I've got all these rankings for, we own this website. Here's what it looks like. Here's the rankings. Here's the phone calls, you know, contact me if you want to rent the site out. And I couldn't find emails and I couldn't find phone numbers, but I contacted them on the Facebook page because like I said, you have to have multiple points of contact with these people if you want to get them, right? Sometimes they won't answer the phone or they'll get their front desk. And sometimes, you know, you don't, even if you find emails, you don't know the best email, but Facebook pages, I mean, typically people are monitoring their Facebook pages. So this is a great example. No email, no phone, no contact page found. Oh, but we did find a Facebook page. So to answer your question, what we're talking about here is if we found a Facebook page as a point of contact, but then of course on the deep analysis, it's if they have a Facebook pixel installed. Ed says, can we enter their email if we find it using another tool? Yeah, you absolutely can. When you go to create a report for these guys, when you go to create a campaign for these guys, okay, so if I was to select them and create a campaign, we'll just call it test, right? It'll tell you what emails it found. Okay, so I'm going to choose this as my sending alias. But the next step, okay, this is who we're going to choose. Next, okay, and then it'll load the email addresses in here that it found. I chose one with no email addresses. That's why you don't see anything. But if you have an email, you know, if it was like Rob at Invisible PPC, right, you could just pop his email right in there. And it'll send to that email address instead, even though we'll try and find them for you. If you have one that's outside of what was found, you can use it. Okay. Let's see. Well, when's the pro version available? How much for the pro version? We're actually going to cover that here right away, pretty quick. Don't duplicate reports, send out. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, Keith. No, we don't send duplicate reports. We set up an individual report for each business, right? Because I mean, when you're contacting these people, they don't give a shit about, so clean canvas, more art, tattoo removal doesn't give a shit about these guys. So when we send them a report, we're only going to show them information about them. And then when we send these guys a report, we're only going to show them information about them. So it's very, very tailored to their business. And when earlier in the webinar, when I said this tool is really good to help you turn cold email prospects into warm ones, the way we're doing that, the way that we have the ability to do that is through the amount of data we can actually collect. It might be scary to some of the businesses. We're like, how do you know all that? How do you know all that? And it's like, well, it's what we do. You know what I mean? Like, but the ability to like present to them information about their business that they probably don't even know, especially this one, right, is a really good one. To tell them, look, these are the keywords that you're ranking for, and this is the position that we're seeing you ranking in. That's how we're going to turn cold into warm, is by wowing them, right? And we're going to do it with beautiful stuff, right? I keep choosing the wrong one. Like, we're going to do it in a very, very beautiful way so that they see, well, I mean, when a client sees something like this, I mean, they'll know this is quality stuff, right? And like the information is, the design is one thing. They're like, wow, they really put a lot of time and effort into making this report really, really nice. But when they start digging into the data, they're like, okay, emergency debt, that's me. This is a custom report generated for me. Oh my God. I'm ranking #1 for emergency dental Salt Lake. Oh my God, I didn't know that had 70 searches a month. You know what I mean? When they start digging in, and seeing what's going on. Oh my God, I don't have an SSL. Oh my God, I don't have a Facebook pixel. I'm not on Google. My page speed score is only 48. They'll slowly start being like, oh my God, like they'll either be a little bit freaked out, right, by the amount of information we can collect from them, or they'll be very impressed, right? And through impressing them with beautiful reports, information that's tailored to them and their business, that's what we mean by turning a cold lead into a warm lead. And then from there, it's your job, what you want to do. Like for instance, like this is what I was going to show you. This button can actually come to this form. So let's say, I sent this report to these guys, Emergency Dental Salt Lake City, whether I sent it by email or whether I sent it, them right to this thing. If they come here and they're interested, click here to see how I can help, then what they would do is fill out their information right on this page, and it would send us or you back a message saying, fish on, like these guys contacted you. They want more information, right? You can have this button also lead to some other page. By default, it does load up a lead collection form for you, and you'll have this email sent back to you so that you've turned a warm lead into a very, very hot lead. But you can make that button go anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, you can point it to Google if you want. There's no reason to do that. I'm just saying you have the ability to do it. So what we're doing, guys, is, oh man, I have the image on another computer of mine, but what we're doing now, guys, is we're gonna bring Rob on, okay, and then we're gonna show you, we're doing a second BOGO offer for more beta testers to get in. We're also going to, the pro version is ready, right? There's still obviously in beta mode that there's still obviously feedback that we want, but now that we're ready to release the pro version, we're going to need beta testers be testing out the pro version stuff as well, so that we can get, number one, bug reports from what's going on in the pro version. Number two, we're going to want to get feedback from you guys on what's going on in the pro version as well. So that's how we release things in stages. We let a small amount of people in, they start testing it, we listen to them, we make it better. We release another feature set, we let them in, they use it, they feedback, we make it better. So what we're going to do, guys, is another BOGO offer. You're going to have the ability to either double your credits if you already have SERPscout from the first BOGO offer. It's going to be about the same price point. Will allow you to either double your credits, and if you don't have SERPscout and you do want to get it, you're going to be able to get SERPscout plus another product, which is very, very complementary to what we're doing with SERPscout. So what I want to do is I want to bring Rob on, and he's going to talk about if you guys buy what Rob is selling, you're going to get SERPscout included, but it's all going to be very, very, very inexpensive. So with that said, let me switch this over to Rob. If you're ready, just let me know.
Hi, how are you doing, guys? I'm here and I'm ready.
Okay, there you go.
All right. All right, you should be able to see my screen now.
Yes, you are good.
Perfect. So first of all, thanks. It's 6 months, I think, since I was last done with you guys, when we were talking lots of things PPC related. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Rob Warner. I'm founder and CEO of a company called Invisible PPC, which is predominantly a white label digital marketing agency running PPC for agencies, consultants, business owners, that's white label to the end client. And I was Herc and Todd were kind enough to let me on today to talk to you about something that we've been working on that I think you might find interesting. I've been stood here watching everything that's going on with SERPscout and even remembering back to what Pixel Scout was. Guys, that's a massive upgrade what you've been building here. I will be a customer. I love it. I think it's really, really cool. One of the things that was talked about in so far is the ability to do these searches, find prospects, send valuable information, and engage with them. One thing that we've seen though at Invisible PPC is a little bit of an issue that we've come across for a long time and never really thought about it until it was pointed out to us. And I say us, I'm talking about Joe Troy, my business partner, and myself, just around the holiday time, around Christmas, and went, guys, you've been doing this for a while now. You've been doing white label digital for a long time. has anybody told you that you're really stupid? Now, what do you mean? I get told that a lot, but why specifically? And I said, well, PPC and retainer services can be hard things to sell because you're asking someone to make a big commitment. So whether it's SEO, whether it's PPC, whether it's whatever service it is, you know, if you're looking for $1,000 retainer or a $750 retainer or whatever it might be, that's a big trust step for someone to take to, you know, start working with you. I said, why don't you do something that's much easier to start with, that can be done potentially one time, but massively valuable? And, you know, after much deliberation and thinking about this, the answer we realized was standing and staring at us right in the face, and we never even realized. So when we sell a PPC campaign for a client, when an agency hires us, one of the first things that we will strongly recommend, and where we possibly can, we will insist, is that they use a landing page. So we drive PPC traffic to a custom landing page with one sole purpose, which is to convert browsers into customers. Because we all know websites suck at converting visitors into prospects. So we insist that they use our landing pages. And we've built a lot of landing pages in a lot of industries over the last 7 years. And we've got some pretty good numbers on what works, what doesn't work, and the impact that it can have when you put one in place. And it's not until you stop and take a look at it for a second that you realize just how big it is. Now, on page, you can see, on screen rather, you can see kind of a little sales page that we put together for a teeny tiny little product, which we've never ever done this before. We've never ever put out a teeny tiny, super cheap little product, but we realized that we ought to, and I'll explain why in a second. But I just want to scroll down in here in a second to show you something. So when I say we've done quite a bit of testing, this is our last 12 months worth of testing in the dental niche. We have sent 277,000 clicks to landing pages and generated nearly 30,000 inquiries. Now, there are not many people who've driven that volume of traffic to a dentist websites and those kind of levels of inquiries. I mean, that's nearly 3,000 inquiries per month. I've not done the maths quickly, but I'm guessing it's about 2,600 inquiries per month. And if you look at the conversion rate column, which is just on the right hand side, there's a little red circle here, that's at nearly 11%, 10.5% conversion rate on traffic. So what that means is if we compare that to a typical website, and perhaps somebody can give me a number in the chat, what numbers are you guys used to seeing business owners having conversion rates on their website? Anybody got 1%, 2%, 4% maybe if it's really good? Let me know what numbers you're typically seeing in the chat box right now, because that's what I'm used to seeing. Yeah, they're not very good. So we're seeing over 10 on average, and some of them are a lot bigger than that. Obviously, that means some are smaller, but we're seeing some seriously good conversion rates. So we thought, hang on a minute, we know landing pages work. And here's the big thing with them. A landing page doesn't require any additional ad spend. It doesn't necessarily require an ongoing contract. It doesn't need anything other than set it up and let it run. So as a foot in the door sale, it's something you can sell really, really easily, because you go, hey, Mr. Website Owner, I see you're running traffic from somewhere to your website. Would you like to get more inquiries from exactly the same traffic without changing anything else? It's a pretty easy sale, because all they do is change one page and everything else gets better as a result of it. So we recognized that and thought, hang on a minute. Wouldn't it be smart if we took our data and we released that? We released the templates that we use, that work and that generate us these results. Would that be a valuable thing for other people to have? Just give me one in the chat if you think that's a useful thing to have. a proven template that on average over a sample size of 277,000 clicks converts at over 10% on cold traffic. Yeah, exactly. I see a bunch of ones go in the chat, and that's what we've done, guys. And Herc and Todd have been kind enough to share what we've done with all of you, because hopefully they think it's cool and we think it's cool. So I'm not going to bore you with everything that's on this page, but basically you can see. I want to draw your attention to one thing though. The impact on a customer is huge. We've got a little landing page calculator, which says if you are getting so many clicks per month, what's the impact on your business? So here, let's look at this example. 190 clicks a month, average customer value 2,500. That's a typical dental. It could be implants, which is more than that. That could be sort of 5,000, 6,000. Doesn't really matter. It's just 2,500 typical value. Now we've assumed that this is a pretty damn good website. It's getting a 4% conversion rate, and that from those inquiries, they convert one in 10 into a customer. That's not very good. You would hope a dentist would do better than that. We've also made an assumption that 1 in 10 patients are sufficiently happy with their dental treatment to recommend them to somebody else. Again, if this dentist's any good, I would hope more than 1 in 10 would recommend. And then we said, okay, that's what they're doing today. What if we then put a landing page in? Let's say forget hitting 10.5%. Let's say we hit 8%. The impact on that business over that 1 year, so on 190 clicks a month, let me show you this, $25,000 extra revenue on the same traffic from one teeny tiny little landing page. It's insane, absolutely insane. And that's a tiny one. That's a tiny one. If you look at more of them, up to here, 400 clicks a month, we can start hitting over 100 grand a year extra benefit. So it's a pretty valuable thing. But we as marketers tend to undervalue the value of a landing page. We know it converts better, but we don't turn it into money. And if you turn it into money, it's huge. So without boring you to tears about this, what we've done is we've just put together a teeny little offer. It's like a $27 offer to take our landing page template that we use for dental, and we've made it available to you with a whole bunch of other resources, all in the price. So we've given you instructions on how to make sure it's responsive, how to sort Cnames out, privacy policies, because you need a privacy policy if you're collecting personal data. We've given you that as well. We've given you some case studies so you can use the numbers you just saw on screen a moment ago. You can use to help pitch. And we've produced these landing pages in 4 different formats. So whatever landing page builder you use, you're pretty much covered, whether it's Unbounce, ClickFunnels, Go High Level, whether it's just plain HTML, all formats are available for the landing page. And the landing page set, which is obviously a landing page, it's a thank you page when they opt in, and it's also the privacy policy that goes with it. So we've produced all of that for you for basically $27. So you can take 300,000 clicks worth of test data and use it tomorrow for next to no money. Customize it to your clients. But what a great foot in the door to have, because it's a one-time thing with no extra traffic costs. It's really super simple to sell. Yes, I'll be honest, there are a couple of other upsells in there if you want. We've got a full pack of sales materials if you want to support everything that Herc and Todd have been talking about today. Things like articles you can use, emails you can use, blog posts, checklists, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But we think for the price point we put it out there, it's hugely valuable. And I hope that you agree with that. So, Herc, Todd, does that make sense to you? Have I covered what you thought I was going to say?
Yeah. So we're probably going to get you to dive in a little bit later. What time are we at? Because guys, Rob's card is opening here in 7 minutes. So
it's really 7 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. So you know what? Because what we're going to do, guys, is, and I'm sure you guys have seen this before with what we did with local lead pages. Rob already mentioned that they have the funnel. So what we're going to do is give you deeper access to SERPscout for everything that you pick up in this funnel, right? It's like a buy one, get one offer. Okay. So you know what? I'm just going to take the screen, Rob, and I'll show them what the offer is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me It's so weird to work on this computer.
So I'll tell you what, it's been very, very strange on this one for us putting this together, because internally we had a huge argument about the fact that, you know, our clients pay typically $1,000. You know, end clients paying $1,000 for landing pages, and we're giving the whole of templates away for $27, and people kind of go, "Are you sure that's okay?" And we went, "Yeah, why not?" Because there's only so many people who will ever be invisible PPC customers, but there's a big wide world out there of people who can sell other services as well, and it's a great way to get a foot in the door. So I'm back with you guys.
Yeah, and the nice thing too, guys, is like you can use SERPscout to go find a bunch of dentists, right, in a bunch of cities too. So that's
Who
why
would have thought it?
yeah, like, and we really love doing this, the BOGO style stuff, guys, because to be honest, it's such a win-win-win deal. Like we want it to be really low priced, number one, for you guys. We don't want you like spending a bunch of bank here. And I mean, $27 is going to get you beta access to SERPscout. So like it's kind of on the screen right now, right? So if you buy Dental Smart Pages for 27 bucks, we're going to give you 100 credits into SERPscout. If you already have SERPscout from a previous offer, we'll just give you 100 more credits, right? If you don't have SERPscout, well, then we'll give you the beta access and we'll give you 100 credits. And then Rob mentioned that there is a funnel, okay, in place, and we'll get them in a little bit to go over those items a little more deeply. But if you buy their OTO one, it's $37. We're going to give you 100 more credits into your account. And then they have another offer for their template of the month club, and that's why I have OTO2 listed here twice. And you'll have two options there. You can get it monthly for $47. You can get it annually for $247. Okay, if you choose the monthly option, we'll give you 100 more credits once again. But if you choose the annual options, we're gonna get you into the pro upgrade with another 100 credits into SERPscout. So right now, the pro upgrade is only going to be available through this offer. Okay, but we're gonna release the pro upgrade to you guys later on as well. Currently, right now though, this is the only way we're gonna do it with the beta test offer. So this OTO, the OTO1, Rob, can you talk a little bit about the $37 OTO1, like after the main sale?
Yeah. So we spent some time last year testing dental marketing out specifically, and created a bunch of resources that we are making available to make sales easier, because the problem people often have is, you know, great, I want to go into this market, I want to pick up some dental clients, because we all love dental clients. There are so many dentists in the US in particular that it's just such a huge opportunity. So what we did was we looked at all the things that we produced and produced effectively a sales and marketing resource pack. Now, in that sales and marketing resource pack, there are 4 white papers. These are content white papers that you can then use. So things about, like, for example, linking my Google My Business to Google Ads using location extensions, things that people who are dentists who are in this space would want to have. So there are 4 white papers. There's that one on linking. There's one on PPC results for dentists and what they should care about, educational pieces. There is one on the 5 best Google ads for dentists and what makes them great. And then one as well, which is really for everybody on the call, which is what we call the PPC Dental Terms Guide. You know, it's a really good guide to what the language of PPC is, what should matter, what they should care about, how to understand it. We've then separately provided 13 marketing blog posts, pre-written, and these are not low rent, offshore, cheap blog posts. These are never published, unique to us blog posts that we've had professionally written. These are hundreds of words, and they're nice authority pieces that you can use the blog post, you can cut up and use as content pieces, you can use as emails, you can use them in any way you want. The sales pack also then has a 38-point landing page checklist. So if somebody already says they have something, we can check it off and prove whether or not that really is any good. And 2 other things that I really, really like. The first one is some direct message templates that you can use on LinkedIn, Facebook, or anywhere where you can direct message people. Really simple direct message templates that we've found to work. And then my business partner, Joe, who is annoyingly smart at times, came out with an idea for a contract. And one of the things that people say when you're looking at digital marketing services is lots of people will sell a monthly retainer or a month-to-month agreement because they kind of go, well, annual is a bit big and scary, and who's going to commit to that? But month-to-month is a bit sucky as an agency because it's really easy to get fired really quickly. So, and we know from our business and from other agency owners as we speak to lots of agencies, is once you get a client to 90 days, there's a pretty good chance they're going to hang around. So Joe came up with and used and tested a contract, which essentially is an annual contract with a 90-day out option. The theme of which is pretty much, hey, you're in the position to hire us as your service provider. You want to hire us, and we want to be long-term partners with you. But we recognize that you might have some concerns. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to commit to a 12-month agreement because that's good for both of us, means we can do good pricing, etc. But we're going to give you a 90-day out. So after 90 days, you can get out. And that way, if we find that we're not fitting together after 90 days, then we can go our separate ways. It's a really well thought through process because it gives you as the agency the ability to retain people from a year. It means you're guaranteed a 90-day period. And if you wow them during that period, it just glides by and they're into an annual contract, and it takes away the month-to-month fear. So to me, there's a bunch of stuff in that set in that $37 pack, but that one thing alone, if I could have nothing else, I would take that every time. Because if the moment you start structuring your deals that way instead of month to month, your long-term recurring revenue will jump. And that is super valuable. So, if you've got one extra client for 1 month, you've kind of paid for everything here like 10 times over. So that is our OTO1. It's our sales and resource marketing pack.
Thank you, Rob. So guys, their card is open now. So I just dropped the link for you guys. Okay. It's down here on the bottom of the screen too, but I dropped the link because I know you'd rather click than type. Supremacy.digital/DSP. And I'll leave this page up while I'm answering questions. I know questions are still coming up, questions for us, questions for Rob. But once again, guys, it's really simple offer. It really is a three-way win. You guys get access to SERPscout and dental pages for 27 bucks. Todd and I get beta testers for SERPscout, and Rob gets a new customer. So it really is a win-win-win situation, and we absolutely love doing it this way, especially for you guys for the value. I already see some comments coming in that say this is an incredible value. So it can be this simple, guys. If you like SERPscout, okay, and you already have it, but you want more credits, buy dental sales page for 27 bucks. Okay, we'll add another 100 credits to your account. If you don't have SERPscout, buy dental sales pages for 27 bucks. We'll give you an account and 100 credits. Okay. If you buy the OTO one that Rob just went over, it's $37. We'll give you 100 more credits. And then they have, Rob, I'm going to get you to take the screen. Can you share a little bit on the screen about the template of the month club or no?
I certainly can.
Okay, so, great. I want to show you guys this one because right now the pro upgrade, guys, is going to be included if you buy the annual option of the template of the month club, but it's not if you buy the monthly. If you buy the monthly for 47, you only get the 100 additional credits. But if you buy the 247, you'll get the pro upgrade plus another 100 credits. So I'm going to switch the screen once again back to Rob so that you can actually see what the template of the month club is. Okay, here you go, Rob. There you go. You should have it now.
All right, I got it now. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So template of the month club. You might be surprised to hear that it's actually a monthly club where we release new templates every month. I know, shocking. So template of the month club, the whole purpose of this is we have proven data in a number of different markets. We've proven the things that work, the things that convert and work really, really well. So every month, we're taking our top performing landing pages and we're releasing them into the club. The first two are already in there, being dental and physical therapists. again, physical therapists, huge market, hugely underserved by the marketing industry right now. There are a couple of players out there, but not too many at all. And so we've put together these very first two. Now, here's what we do with these. We release one new template in there every month, at least. Sometimes there'll be more in there. But what we also do is we continue testing what's already being built. So we will keep going back. We don't, for us, a landing page is not a static thing. You know, if anybody thinks that the version that they see today is the perfect version forevermore, that's clearly not the case. That's today's best version. It's tomorrow's second best version. So by joining the Landing Page of the Month Club, not only do you get more industries released every single month, but you also get the updates, so that as we run more and more tests, and bear in mind we have full-time graphic designers and page builders on our staff here, we're running lots of these tests. So when we find one that's better, we'll put it out there. And you'll see in there, it doesn't just include the page, it also includes the key copy headlines as well. So you can use those key copy angles as part of the positioning and understanding of the market. So for us, building out this product, bear in mind, we charge $300 for a landing page. You know, there's like a year's worth of landing pages in here for less than the price of one. And our process to build a regular landing page will be based off these templates. So when we build regular pages for clients, you're essentially getting 12 templates that all you need to do is change the images, fill a bit of copy in, and you're good to go. So it's massive value. And as always, we're building them in all the different formats. So we've got unbounce covered, ClickFunnels covered, regular HTML, and Go High Level, which if you're not familiar with Go High Level, it's a cool little platform that works really well for agencies. Certainly it's up there on one of my favorites right now. So that's what's there for you. And we do teardowns as well. You also will get access to this program here, Landing Page Change Lives, where in that we show you business impact, we show you some teardowns, we show you why things work, why they don't work. And we also show you how to find out which websites are running landing pages for their ads and which ones aren't. And you'll recall from a few minutes ago on the screen, I showed you some ROI calculations. We give you the calculator here, so you can work through it with prospects. And you can do that, bear in mind, from what Herc was showing you before about SERPscout and the amount of traffic something's getting, you can take that traffic value, put it through the platform, and actually turn it into a sales proposal. And we've structured this in such a way where you can work through it and effectively present a no-lose offer because the client is guaranteed to make money. So it's a really smart way to present a landing page offer because clients don't realize just the impact they have. So the club and the breakdowns and all the calculators make it massively valuable for you. And that is Landing Page of the Month Club, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob.
No problem at all.
Is my mic okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, awesome. All right. Do you still need the screen? Do you want to show more, or do you want me to grab it back?
No, it's really simple. So you can grab it back. You're all good there. Can I answer a couple of questions I've just seen in the chat, Herc? Would that be okay?
Yeah, I'm going to let you keep the screen because most of the questions are for you. So I'll let you keep the screen in case you need it.
Okay, I'll just flip back to this just in case. So a couple of questions that I can see in here. Do we only target dentists? No. Landing Page of the Month Club will see us where we roll out other niches as well. And we just roll them out one at a time because you can imagine creating all these different formats of all these different pages takes quite a lot of time and effort to actually put them together. We use Unbounce currently, by the way, for our client builds, but we're building all the other versions. We know you don't always use Unbounce. So niches will roll out one at a time. We will be asking our members to say, hey, what would you like next? If there are particular popular markets, then we'll service those ones first. Is this landing page to allow us to get business? This landing page is a great foot in the door offer because what you can say to the dentist is say, hey, I see you're running PPC because you know that from your SERPscout data. I see you're running traffic. Would you like that traffic to work better for you? Would you like to make more money without spending $1 more on ads without changing anything in your campaign other than the page that you drive traffic to. It's a one-off cost. Now, normally if you were to come to us and say, hey, Invisible PPC, build us a landing page for that traffic, then we're going to charge you $300 for that page. You can now use that as a foot in the door offer. You could go in and say, hey, Mr. Client, let me build you a landing page. I'll charge you $500 for it. And you've got a template. So, in an hour's work, you're $500 up if you want to use it as a foot in the door. It's really low entry point for that dental client. You might say, okay, I'm going to do you one for implants, teeth whitening, Invisalign, emergency. That's 5 pages, all based off the same template, because the template works. That's 5 charges. You're suddenly very, very valuable to that dentist, because the next day you turn those live, their conversion rate on their traffic will go up and their ad spend doesn't, so they're getting more money. Then you go and sell them other things. So whatever your primary services offers are, go and sell your retainer services, but you're selling retainer services on the front foot, having already demonstrated value. And so in terms of Ed's question about recommending pricing, it really depends how you want to use it. If landing pages are part of a core offer for you, you might include them in the price. If it's a foot in the door, then you might want to do it from a kind of point of view of, okay, let's do it for say $200. And for $200, they've got a landing page. You've got a client you can now sell other services to. You might want to go in the middle. Really think about it. My personal suggestion, for me, if I was out there prospecting, I want to put these out about $4.95, because at that price point, it's worth your time, it's worth the effort, it's credible to the dentist, because dentists generally make decent money. So it's worth having them out there at that kind of price point. And otherwise, there is a danger that it devalues your work, which you don't want to do that. Another question, would these landing pages work for SEO clients? Now, yes is the answer. You can put them as SEO pages. So you can take the HTML and build it into the website. You can copy the design. That will absolutely work fine. All the meta tags and all the things you want there, you'll need to make your own up. We don't optimize for SEO, so they're not optimized as such. And it will depend what service you're offering as to what you want to optimize them for. But yeah, absolutely works for SEO. Gainer says that we're hosting the pages for the client. Up to you entirely. If you have an account with anybody like Unbounce or High Level or ClickFunnels, then absolutely host them. If you've got a regular web service, you can. We show you how to do that here, actually. One of the things that you'll need to do is set up a Cname. The way we do it typically is we set them up on a subdomain of the client's website. So if the client is, I don't know, joesmithdental.com, then we set up things like offers.joesmithdental.com for our landing pages. So I think back to something Herc said before about your rank and rent strategy. If you own a property that you want to rent out to other people, you can then create subdomains on a property you control, which is kind of a smart idea. Okay, yeah, Bart says, can we give an example of how we use it without paid search? Yeah, effectively what you could do, Barton, is take the designs, model them, and run effectively replace website pages with the landing page designs. So replace one with the other is how I would use them without any kind of paid traffic. They're definitely better with paid traffic because you can control what people see. But without paid traffic, they'll just convert better. They're better converting web pages.
I'm gonna break something down real quick for people. Number one, Todd and I just increased the bonus on the annual, guys, the dental landing page of the month club. Okay, that's the $247 annual only, and you'll get the SERPscout Pro upgrade, and we just bumped up the credits on that from 100 to 250. But I want to be very, very clear about this, guys. The Pro upgrade is only for the 247 offer. Is that what it is, Rob, on the cart? 247, or is it like 243 or something?
Yes, I'll say yes. It's something like that.
Okay, it's right near the $250 mark, guys.
Yeah. The
Pro upgrade and these credits are only on that offer. If you buy the template of the month club for the $1 trial or the $47, that doesn't get you the Pro upgrade. Okay, that's why I'm leaving this up on the screen, and I want you guys to really look at it if you're after a specific bonus. Okay, front end, when you first purchase dental smart pages, it's $27. You get 100 SERPscout credits, or 100 more if you already have it. Okay, you buy the OTO one for $37, you get 100 more credits. Then you have you'll get another offer, but it's up to you to choose which one you want. The landing page of the month on the monthly or the annual. If you want the Pro of SERPscout, the Pro upgrade, you got to get that 247, guys. Okay.
And Keith chimed in the chat, it's 243, so he knows my sales page better than I do.
Thank you, Keith.
I'm glad somebody's checking.
Yeah, and he just said yeah for the credits bump, so I'm not sure if you purchased that already, but yeah, we're gonna bump that. We're gonna bump that up, guys. To access your bonuses, okay. Inside of Warrior Plus, when you go to access your product, okay, what you're buying, remember, is dental smart pages. That's what you're buying, right? So when you get your receipts and you get all the access and stuff, you're gonna log into Warrior Plus. That's the merchant that you're purchasing the product from. You're purchasing dental smart pages on Warrior Plus. Okay, when you log into your back end to access it, there'll be two buttons. One will be a bonus button to access our bonus. One will be the other button to access your dental smart pages area. Ours is going to take you to a page where you're going to put in your name and name or email, and it's going to look up if you have an account or not. If you do, it'll add the credits. If you don't, it'll create an account. But you're going to need your WSO receipt, okay? And the receipt looks like this. It'll say WSO underscore, and it'll have like 7 or 8 digits. You'll need that for our form, okay? If you have any trouble with anything, guys, this little gray box right here needs support. Go to supremacy.support, and you can open a ticket there, and our support staff, Alex and Tanya, will be there to help you out, okay? Yeah, Keith says he bought the whole funnel, so you just got 250, 350, 450 credits and the Pro upgrade. There you go. plus the whole funnel of smart pages. So way to go, Keith. Really taking advantage of the value offer. I think that's it. Keith says, looks like, oh no, he's got it. Looks like a good offer. When do I get access to Pro? So I was kind of just answering that, Keith. Yeah, just log into your Warrior Plus account and you'll see a link to access the bonus for SERPscout, and that'll help you set up your account and everything. If you have any issues, supremacy.support is our support desk. Let me see if there's any other questions. Are there ad creatives for the landing pages, Rob?
There aren't ad creatives actually. That's something we haven't provided as part of this, but it's something I can have a look at for you separately. So Gainer, we'll probably do a session on that and take through some ad creative, both display and text-based ads that we use regularly for these pages. So I'm happy to provide that separately. That's an interesting question. I like it when people give me interesting questions. I've just seen the request to go over the Pro upgrade again. The done for you. Is it your Pro or is it ours? The one.
Do you mean for SERPscout, John?
Yeah, I think it's SERPscout. I think we've gone through that, haven't you?
I can do it again. I just want to clarify, John, before we go, that we're answering the right question. Do you want to see the Pro version of SERPscout, or do you want to see the? I guess you don't have a Pro version, do you, Rob? You just
we have the done for you sales resources, which is the only upsell in the funnel.
I'll go over the Pro version again.
Do that. I can share my screen with you as well when you want to have a look at the upgrade, if anybody wants that.
Okay, so guys, when you get to, if you purchase the 247, you get the Pro upgrade in SERPscout. What's that going to look like in your account? Okay, so number one, you'll see new menu items. So also up here, you'll see the type of account you have. So you can see I'm demoing what a Pro membership looks like. So number one, the yellow pages, adding the scanner into the yellow pages. Okay, that's going to be a Pro upgrade. Number two, white labeling. This box will show up so that when you're hosting these reports, okay, instead of hosting them on digitallandlord.network, you'll be able to host them on yourdomain.com. That's called white labeling, so that way, you know, they're not arriving on a domain that says something weird to them. Like for me, I could host it on supremacy.digital, which is our company. I could host it on Hurt Magnus, which is my name, right? That's what white label does. Number two, or number 3, I guess, would be in the deep analysis, this little button to show them the ranking, the keywords that they're ranking for is part of the pro upgrade.
Hey,
Okay.
Hunter,
Yeah.
I think we're still on Rob's screen.
Oh, shite. Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. I was answering some other questions and looked up and I was like, oh, and someone alerted me too. Thanks, Rafael.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, let me start that whole spiel again. Okay, so once again, pro upgrade, guys. If you buy Dental Smart Pages template of the month club for $247, you'll get the pro upgrade. And this you can see up here in the top right now that you can see my screen will tell you what type of membership you have. On the left menu, some new things get added. Number 1, yellow pages. Okay, so you can scan yellow pages with the pro upgrade. Number 2, if you go to settings, okay, you'll now see a white labeling option where these reports will now be hosted instead of on digitallandlord.network or instead of on SERPscout.net. You can host these reports on your domain.com so that everything is seamlessly integrated into your business brand. Okay. Number 3, sorry, the deep analysis, the ability to give them this keyword report, which I believe is so massive. This is going to come in huge. Being able to tell these companies, look, here are the keywords that you're ranking for, the position and all the data for those keywords. That's part of the pro upgrade. And then the GMB is part of the pro upgrade, checking if they're verified Google Maps listing. And then the last thing is the importer, being able to import a list of websites for into SERPscout so that you can use our scanning, reporting, and contact features without having to spend credits in Google or Yellow Pages. If you have your own file, upload it here. We'll still do all the scanning for you. So that's what the pro upgrade is going to be for, guys. And hopefully that answers your question, John B. HTTPS. Yeah, I'm gonna pop the link in there again for you guys. Okay, anyone that hasn't seen it, there you go. Okay, that's the link to go purchase Rob's product. Okay, so I'm gonna go there now so you can see. There's Dental Smart Pages. Stop! You're about to miss out on a lot. So just scroll down. There you go, guys. 27 bucks. It's Rob. This is Rob. This is the guy speaking to you. Joe Troyer. I'm sure everybody in this group knows Joe. We ran an amazing. They ran with us for Pixel Scout too. So they did some amazing training for you guys inside of Pixel Scout. That if anyone doesn't have Pixel Scout, maybe we'll wrap up those trainings and give it to you guys as well inside of SERPscout, because it was really great selling training.
Those trainings were great. I remember when I think Joe did one and I did one, and they were really, really valuable things. I had an absolute blast doing them, and I know Joe said the same. So and our people, there was a ton of value in there.
Yeah. Who is SERPscout? So SERPscout is me and Todd. So I'm Herc. Todd is Todd. I don't know how else. Just so you guys can see, because I mean, if you've never met us before, that's kind of weird, but cool. You can go to Supremacy Digital about, and this is Todd, and this is me speaking, and this is our team. Okay, we have partnerships, we have a bunch of products. You guys can go to Supremacy Digital to see more about us if you don't know who we are. I meant, what is SERPscout? You must have shown up late because we demoed SERPscout. So you'll have to wait for the replay because we can't run that whole demo again. It took me 40 minutes to run that demo. Brief description. Do you know what Pixel Scout is? It's Pixel Scout rebuilt from the ground up and improved 100 times over. And if you don't know what Pixel Scout is, it's a prospecting and contact tool. So if you sell, oh, you have it. Okay. So it's very much like Pixel Scout, right? Except it's complete. It's not focused on finding a Facebook pixel. It's more focused on SEO and agency and rank and rent type stuff. It allows you to search Google, contact people. watch the replay. If you know what Pixel Scout is, you're going to understand SERPscout immediately, except the replay covered the massive updates that SERPscout got. It's rebuilt from the ground up, pretty much. Any other questions, guys? We're not super long on this webinar, but I don't think we need to be. But if there's not a lot of questions, it'd be great to get the replay out as well. Potter Rob, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to encourage everybody to give this some serious thought. I mean, I think what we've done with Dental Smart Page is pretty damn cool. You take that and you accompany it with SERPscout, and it's like, this is just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Because SERPscout just does so much heavy lifting for you for prospecting. It does so much heavy lifting on the prospecting side. And I think one of the things we're seeing in 2020 is static, boring, mass cold email outreach is kind of just dead. Smart, rich, data enhanced outreach is where the money lives. And if you've got that and you've got a low barrier to entry offer, you're in a super strong position. And for me, that makes it, the pair together is just crazy.
Yeah, I really like it a lot, guys. The reason is that, you know, SERPscout will allow you to go out there and find weaknesses on businesses' websites. We've showed you that over and over again. It's pretty easy to contact businesses and say, you know, hey, your site's not secure. That's a problem. You know, you're never going to rank highly in Google, and people aren't going to trust you as well. Your browsers are going to give you a problem if you don't have an SSL. Really, really simple thing to fix for them, and that builds trust. And then once you build that trust, you can also charge them to do that or do it for free, but it's a real good way to start a relationship with the business. And you know, we're all business owners here, and we all get approached a lot by a lot of different offers, and it's just, you work with those that you feel comfortable with, that you trust, that you have conversations with, the ones that are willing to help you and things like that. And that's the way, you know, you should conduct your business. What Rob is offering here is basically a way to, you know, get them in the business of maybe some pay-per-click. Invisible PPC can do all the hard work for you too as well. The landing pages that he's shown you have massive testing and conversion on them. He went over that early on and showed you the differences between, you know, old style pages, and then they're constantly tweaking and updating and getting better and better conversions out of the new pages. And if you've ever done, you know, paid for ads, it's all about testing. It's all about testing your ads, and it's all about testing your page to see what converts the best. And they've already done all that work for you, which is just tremendous, because a lot of times when you're testing, you're losing money in some cases.
And do you know, Todd, you know something on that as well? I always find, as a PPC professional, possibly the most annoying thing in everything that I do. If you take a look at Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever, for example, and you look how complicated those platforms are, how much effort you have to put in to learn how to build them, how to run the campaigns, how to, you know, there is a ton of effort that goes into learning how to run campaigns on those platforms. Now, here's the annoying thing. I could spend a week full-time tweaking a campaign to try and get it to perform better. And I might get a gain of 20%. 25 of it have done really well after a huge chunk of effort. I can swap out a web page, put a landing page in, and more than double my results. It's like the effort is so skewed. It's kind of like, as a PPC professional, I'm kind of like, that's really annoying, because all I have to do is change the page, and actually everything just improves dramatically. And when you think about that, it's kind of like, wow, that's frustrating, but it's also brilliant.
Yeah, you know, another thing that I was going to say is that a lot of people think, okay, I've got something working now. Now I just need to scale. Now I need to spend more money. I need to buy more traffic. I need to buy more clicks to make more money. Well, actually, the easiest way to make more money is not to spend more money on your traffic, but to increase your conversions on your existing traffic, right? And that's what a
100%.
lot of people, excuse me?
Yeah, 100% with you.
Yeah, right on, right on. And that's what a lot of people don't think about. They just want to say, okay, this one's getting some action and I'm making a little bit of a profit, so let me spend as much money as I can to go up to go up. Well, you can go up just as fast by increasing your conversions, and that's kind of what this is all about. I think Rob said he sent 270 something thousand clicks in the dental niche to, to test these landing pages to get the conversions optimized. Um,
Yeah,
and
$2.2 million of ad spend.
I was going to say, and that's a lot of money.
That's
That's
$2.2 million of other people's money have gone into testing these pages.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to spend $2 million of your own money to get perfect converting dental pages,
And I would say to anybody as well, if you take a look at the page and you go, do you know what? I've got this. I'm not that impressed. It's nothing. It's, if I look at the page aesthetically, I think that's okay. Do I think I could create something more beautiful? Absolutely, all day long. I'm sure that anybody with really good design skills can create better looking pages, but I defy them to make it work better. And that's what we found, is that we tried the really ugly, the really beautiful, everything in between. And the combination we're sharing is today's best case. It might not be tomorrow's, as I said before, when we're running things through the landing page of the month club, as we continue testing and tweaking. But as of today, I can't beat it. And if I can't beat it after all those clicks, then there's got to be things that are right about it. And my strong belief is we go by the numbers. My personal opinion and anybody else's personal opinion, whether it's the most beautiful page in the world or not, honestly, it's not worth very much. Let the data do the talking.
Yeah, exactly, guys. And just coming back around to that, we feel that SERPscout can, if you've ever done any searches for dental in SERPscout in any city, I mean, there's just so many. I mean, even in my little city of 150,000 people, I mean, there's dentists on, every other block around here, it seems. I mean, they're just everywhere. Because everybody needs and wants, nice teeth and nice clean teeth. I mean, it's just something that we all do. So they have a lot of money to spend as well. And going after them, is beneficial. I actually have a guy in my mastermind by the name of Zach Anderson, and he lives up in the Northwest in Washington. And he's an agency, and he has one client, and that one client is a dentist. And then that dentist started opening up other offices all around the Seattle area. And Zach is really, really good at ranking dentist sites and getting them to Google places. So he makes a ton of money from this one guy who they just established this great relationship, and he helps him with all of his new dental practices that he wants to enter into different suburbs all around Seattle, and sometimes even in the same suburb, but just kind of gives them a different, I don't want to get all into it. Zach was explaining it to me one day at a mastermind, and it was just amazing what he was doing with one guy who was a really smart guy and knew how to expand into a lot of different dental offices. So they make a lot of money. They're a great niche to go after and really hone in on and take them down. Now that's the front end offer, is the dental practices. Now in the OTO2, where you get the monthly club, I don't know, I can't, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I don't know exactly how deep he went into all the niches that are in there. I think he said there's a year's worth already, because Rob doesn't just do dentists with his agency, he does them all. And so he's providing you every month a new vertical. I think I saw PT, physical therapist, or maybe that was
You
training.
did. Physical therapists are in there already. So the first two are in there right now.
Right on. And then as each month progresses, you will get a new vertical. And I was having a phone conversation with Joe Troyer just a couple of days ago about this offer and about its value, and what is all there. I want to get it straight from him. And And so he said something like they're going to switch between blue collar and white collar. So there's going to be a lot of different verticals coming in there each and every month. So maybe you just hate dentists. I don't know. But there's going to be a lot more of verticals coming in there, a new one every month that then you can go back into SERPscout and then start recharging. Maybe you just want to stay local in your city. Maybe 1 month you go after dentists. Maybe the next month you go after physical therapists. Maybe next month you go after this. But they're going to give you all the ammunition you need to get out there, close them, serve up some great landing pages. And then, there's big money in offering someone a pay-per-click service. And I guarantee you, Rob has going to have an exceptional offer for Invisible PPC later on, so that you don't even have to do the work. All you have to do is go out, use SERPscout, find the lead, get your foot in the door, start to open the conversation, show them these landing pages or whatnot, show them some of that marketing material that Rob's presenting here in OT01, and just start the conversation, get it going. And then you could either do all the pay-per-click yourself, or I'm sure you could hire Rob's team to do that for you as well. They will handle everything, and they are very, very experienced at it. I don't know if Rob went over all of his credentials about just how awesome he is at it.
No, I didn't. But without wishing to flog a dead horse, yeah, that's something we're pretty good at.
Yeah, he's been actually speak at Google. He is a Google AdWords specialist. He's phenomenal at it, and his team is too. So you're in great hands there.
That's our thing. That's what, and that is why we didn't even notice that landing pages were right under our nose and that there's a ton of value in them. So yeah, I would add to that. I mean, that's what we do. We run PPC campaigns for people, and we run a ton of dentists, a ton of lawyers, therapists, chiros, roofers, all those kind of people in all those kind of service-based industries is where we spend the vast majority of our time working. And yeah, we spend about $30 million a year with Google. We are their only fully white label top 1% partner in the world out of about 40,000 partners. So that's the world that we live and breathe in. And thankfully, that generates some pretty serious good outcomes for our agency partners.
Yeah, so, that being said, in order to get access to Rob later on, I'm sure they're going to make you a very, very special offer as soon as this launch is over. They're going to come at you probably and talk about how you can get in on a really good deal to get started with their agency and all those kinds of things. We presented their offer, I think it was last year, and it was very, very well received. A lot of people got in on that, and it was a great offer and a great deal. And I'm sure it's coming down the pipe too, but you got to get in first in order to take advantage of that kind of thing. So we think it's a great deal. We think it's, like Kirk said in the beginning, it's a win-win-win for all of us. We get some beta testers, we get a little bit of revenue to support the API costs and all the development costs that we have going on inside of SERPscout. And we're giving it to you, it's probably the best deal you're ever going to see because you're our current member. So we will be launching SERPscout to the general public on April 1st. And things are going to get more expensive by then. So
someone mentioned that this ranking report looks very similar to what's in keyword supremacy, and that's very astute of you to notice that. And that's because it is the same thing. But the big difference, guys, is in keyword supremacy, that data is for you and you alone, right? You can't share that out unless you share your access to your account. In SERPscout, you're giving this data to the client or the prospect that you're targeting, right? So for instance, this guy, New York City, smiledesign.com, he's a cosmetic dentist. You're giving him this data. That's the big difference. Someone just said you're launching on April Fools.
The good thing about these ranked keywords is, there's going to be some more agency training coming along, and one of David Hood's, this is one of the things that he really wanted to see in here, and we got to start thinking about it. And he asked me if we could provide some data on where a specific website ranks and for all the keywords that rank. This is kind of like SEMrush, if you guys have ever heard of SEMrush, where they tell you like all the keywords that someone's ranking for and where they're ranking and where they're not ranking. And you might say, well, this guy's ranking number one on, you know, lots of keywords. Well, if you dig down deeper, you can approach them and go, hey, you know, you're missing out on another 1,000 visitors per month if we can get these other 3 or 4 keywords down there that are ranking on page. See, here we go. Here's some 2s. Here's some 2s right here. Here's some 2s. There's probably some 3s and some 4s, something like that. And then when you do the math on some of the other columns over there, the estimated traffic value and how much the earning potential on those things, you can use that report and say, hey, look, you know, you're already ranking number one for all of these terms, but what about these other terms? What if we did put a little bit of effort into getting these keywords ranked on page one as well? Look how much more traffic you're going to get. And the reason why I think that's an easy sell is because they already have a website that's already ranking on page one for a number of keywords. How hard do you think it would be to get a few more on page one? Not very hard at all, because they wouldn't even be ranking on page one if their website was no good, right? I mean, when you look at it and you find a guy on page 3 who's ranking for nothing, like, there may be some serious on-page internal problems with that website. Google just might hate them, right? Maybe they did some dirty stuff way back in the day and they're never going to rank, no matter what you throw at it. But when you find a website that has a bunch of keywords ranking on page 1 and then a bunch more ranking on 2, 3, 4, and 5, well, there you go. You can do some little things, maybe just some on-page optimization to get those pages ranked on the one. I know Herc and I, we were messing around with keyword supremacy a few months back, and you know, he has pool resurfacing Phoenix and it ranks number 1 for pool resurfacing Phoenix. And I was like, you know, we started talking about it. I was like, hey, well, let's go after this keyword, this keyword, this keyword. And all we did, well, Herc mostly, I was just kind of in the background cheerleading to be completely transparent on that. But we went after some other keywords. All we did was added more content to those pages. Maybe created some pages. I think we created tag pages, if I'm not mistaken. Herc, I'm sure you can speak much, much more clearly on this. But then, boom, just by doing some of the SEO basic knowledge of on page, we were able to get other terms onto page 1. Why? Because Google already loved that site, already had it ranking number 1, so they liked it. And now they see more content, more good on page, more things that you need to move it up, and boom, 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 there they go. So, you know, this is a little rant of mine that I've been thinking about a lot when I look at everything that's going on in SERPscout now. That's just another huge, easy opportunity to use SERPscout, find these clients, and get them and get more terms onto page 1. You can see Herc showing you a ton of, this guy had a ton of page 1s already. Well, now he's got a lot of other keywords. Look at this volume, look at this volume, look at this volume, look at this volume. Add those up. Those are some big numbers. Page 5, page 8, page 9. I guarantee you, if you went to that site and tried to and created some additional pages for those keywords and did some on page, boom, those are going to move up just like the other ones did to page 1. They're just not targeting them effectively. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me put it to you guys like this. Like, if you've ever watched any of my on-page optimization trainings, I could tell just by looking at this. I don't even have to do anything further. I'm so like in tune to this. Okay. Like Todd said, you get this report for these guys, you organize it by volume, you look for keywords that are on page 5 and beyond, and you look at the keyword that it found. Okay, so Omaha Emergency Dental has 880 searches a month, and he's in position 86. His optimization on the page that's ranking for this keyword is terrible. This is terrible. Okay, look at his description. It's freaking literally, he's got a terrible description. He's not optimized in the title. His URL is not optimized for this. And I mean, this is a simple fix, guys. In this instance, you don't even have to create new content because it's a local keyword. All you have to do is re-optimize the existing content. And you could say to this guy, look, you're missing out on 880, well, let's call it 440 or 30% of 80, which is like 200, say 200 plus. You're missing out on 200 plus new visits a month because this page isn't optimized for this keyword. And you probably didn't know that, did you? And I can come in there and I can fix this up, right? And then I can do this one, and then I can do this one, and then I can do this one. And that's why this ranking report is so important.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I can already see it too. You know, I mean, just changing the description, the title tag, and the URL because he's already ranking on page 8 for Omaha Emergency Dental. Crank up the on page on that, and then it's going to move immediately. And I'll say this again, because the site already has a number of page 1 rankings, which means Google likes the site.
The other thing that we haven't talked about yet, but I am going to mention it right now, guys. There is another aspect to this keyword ranking that we're building into the software, and it's literally going to be a page scanner. So we're going to scan certain pages of their site and show them an SEO report, like how well optimized are they for certain keywords on their pages. It's going to give them a score, and it's going to show them all the factors of their page that matter as far as on-page optimization. That's going to be included eventually. It's not in right now. It's started in development, but it's going to be another thing you can add. You'll be able to see it, and then you'll be able to add it to your client reports. We'll actually tell them, like, here's what you need to do to fix your optimization. So, I mean, you really have the ability to show them information they probably don't know and show them how to fix it. And some people would be scared by that. They think, well, if I show them how to fix it, then, you know, they're going to just go do it. No, they won't. They don't give a shit about SEO. They care about, this guy's a dentist. He's not going to sit at his computer or have his front desk person sit at a computer and optimize the page. They're going to say, you do it, right? That's what these companies do. They hire people to do the work. So all you have to do is prove to them, I know what I'm talking about, and I know I can get you the result that I'm showing you here, right? And it makes it easier. It takes away a lot of the friction in having them make the decision to hire you, because you've proven yourself as with the tools that you have, with the reports that you're giving them, with the data that you're giving them for free. You're setting yourself up to be a trusted professional for them. And it'll make their decision to hire you a lot easier, because like I said, the point of SERPscout, guys, is to allow you to turn cold people into warm people, and then warm people turn into hot people with this type of data. Yeah, IT guys don't, Dave said they may have some IT guy. IT guys don't necessarily know SEO. I'll tell you, IT guys are great at IT. They can get your printers online, and they can get your computers online. But that is a different skill set than knowing how to rank a website in Google. Now, IT guys think they're smart. I've come across this a lot, okay, but they're not. They don't know SEO. We spend a lot of time, you know, and energy specializing in learning how to rank sites. You can't just be, well, I know how to set up, you know, networks. That doesn't translate into I know how to rank pages in Google. They understand the language and the verbiage we use, but they do not, most of the time, they do not understand the process. Typically, what those guys do is install a plugin like Yoast and say, well, I've got that check mark and that check mark and that check mark, right? I'm not trying to offend IT guys or anything, but they just don't know what we know. Like, there's a lot more that goes into that. So let me see, you said ITs are good on infrastructure and common office apps and networks, not SEO. Yeah, exactly. So Dave, don't worry about that IT guy. He won't be a problem.
All right, guys. Well, the end of this kind of turned into a ranked keywords webinar for SERPscout. Wasn't our intention, but we just wanted to drive home the value of SERPscout as well. If you don't have it already, this is a great opportunity to get it. It will never get any cheaper and get this many credits at the same time. We think that, you know, Dental Smart Pages is a good. We love dentists. I think everybody in SEO would love to have this little dentist. I gave the example of my friend Zach Anderson. He only has one dentist client, and the guy just keeps opening up more and more offices and expanding his dental empire up in Seattle. And Zach's his go-to guy. And Zach has a formula, and it works. They're both making a lot of money doing it. So dentists do have a lot of money to spend. They're great to work with. You know, we all know that lawyers have a lot of money to spend, but they're jerks. And you don't hear too many people complaining about dentists all that much. I'm sure there are some out there. But so you get the dental front end on this, and then if you pick up the their monthly or annual option, you'll get a lot more niches that have been, you know, proven out over the years by Rob and his team to convert. And you know, getting someone into a pay-per-click deal is also very, very profitable. If you know what you're doing, then you can do it all yourself, or again, I'm sure that Rob's team will be coming up with a great offer to get into Invisible PPC to let them handle all of the pay-per-click stuff for you, so you don't have to go out and learn it, and you still make a decent profit. All you can do is use SERPscout, do the prospecting, do the selling, and then off you go. And I think that's a beautiful way to run a business. I mean, we all can't do every single thing. We can't. Our team is 10 or more people now, right? It used to be just me, and maybe one person. It's certainly grown from there. We all need help to expand. So anyway, I guess that's all I got. We are at 10 minutes to the end of the hour, so we have been on here exactly for 2 hours now. Any last burning questions? Any last thoughts from either of you?
No, I think we explained it pretty good. My only thing, guys, is if you have any troubles at all, this is what this is for, guys. Our support staff is there. Supremacy.support will take you over to our help desk and just submit a ticket, and Alex and Tanya will be there. So no need to panic. We're always going to make sure that whatever you purchase, we give you what we promise. You just have to tell us what the issue is and we'll get it fixed. Other than that, thanks, Rob, for coming on and doing another webinar with us. It's always great to have you on.
Guys, thank you for having me. I've had a blast. I always enjoy hanging out with you because you do smart stuff. Every time I come on with you guys, you go, hey, here's this super cool thing that we built, and it usually is. So it's a blast being here, and thanks to everybody, and look forward to working with some of you.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks again, Rob. Really do appreciate you taking an hour out of your day here. I know you probably got to get back to work now and check out all those orders that are coming in. put out any fires. I know launch is underway. I'm starting to see a lot of emails about it now. So it looks like it's going to be a phenomenal launch, and congratulations on that. Everybody else, we will have another webinar on Monday. So come on back Monday for some more discussion about this exact thing here. Yeah, I guess that is it. Thank you, Sam. Sam says he got all three and the annual as well. Right on, Sam. We really do appreciate that. Now you're going to be a pro SERPscout user, and that's great. We're trying to get as many people
Sam.
we can get into SERPscout Pro to get your feedback on that and make the adjustments as we go along. So, all right, guys, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you back here on Monday to answer any more questions that you have, and I'm sure we'll be talking about more of the features of SERPscout, and we'll dial in that and talk about that a lot as well. So take care, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.